welcome back to my channel Joy in Life. This is Doris from Silos Art and Design, and today we are going to do some swatches and some catch-ups. You haven't seen me on the channel for a little bit, and many things happened, and I'll catch you up with it. But first of all, what we are going to do today is we are going to swatch this Artwell watercolor. So, I think the other video was not out yet. So I don't think because I didn't do the review, I just like did the unboxing, and that is for the 48 box set that I got from Artwell because it was on sale. It was like lightning deal or something, so I got that. And then I saw that they have this tube set, and I added to my cart, but at that time it was not on sale at all, and so I wasn't really looking at buying it. And then sometime in December, I think it was on sale, so I finally got it. So today I want to do the swatch with you, and this is the artist watercolor. That's what they say. So I am not sure you know, if it is good. So overall, like what I'm going to say is that I usually in my professional paintings I use something more like the professional grade that is from bigger brands, so I can ensure the quality of the paint and the knife fastness and stuff like that. So I actually did the swatching for the 48 set, and it's very interesting. Like for that one, I don't know if it will happen here. There were some typos on the swatch card that it came with, and also there were some not just misspelling, but some of the, like one of the color was not actually there, or I wasn't sure, so it is really strange. But overall the quality is good though. Like it's not like Daniel Smith, you can't expect that, right? It's unfair, but it is still pretty good. I think it is good for demonstration or like student printing and all that. So as I said, like I will have some I will be teaching in person again soon, so I got this set so that I can use in my lessons. But I want to test it out first, because usually when I get the watercolors, I want to test it first just to make sure the quality is good enough for the students. If it's like really really bad, I won't even use it in the class, just because I don't want to with not so good quality paint, there are some things that you may not be able to do, right? And as a student, you may not understand that, oh, that is not me, that is the paint. Then they may blame themselves, saying, oh, you know, see, I can't do that. I see other people doing it, but I can't do that. So for example, some of the paint, if it's student grade, or if the paper, like guys, really, like if you have only so much and you have to choose one or the other, better quality paper versus better quality paint, I would say go for the better quality paper, because some of my students may try to use like really inexpensive papers, and I had students whose paper almost like melting when they were doing it, or it claims to be like mixed media or watercolor, but it wasn't really. And for watercolor, I think you really need watercolor paper, and there are some inexpensive ones there, but still okay. See the binder here, it's a lot, but it's quite normal though. It's just that I probably have to do something about it, and I squeezed too much out now, so I don't know. So let me see what I can do. I can probably put some more. Okay, so yeah, it won't even go back down, so maybe I'll just use one of my palettes. I do that all the time, like whenever I'm swatching or whenever I'm doing something. If it comes out too much, I will just save it. Okay. Oh, and since since I was talking to you, I wasn't actually looking at the numbers. Let me see if they go like that. Okay, yeah, it does. Luckily. Okay, so you haven't seen me for a while, and oops, see, it's attaching to it like that. There's like a little thingy there. Okay. So the problem is like this is not like a plastic tube where it will go back down like your toothpaste, some of the toothpaste, not all of them, something like that. But I'll just close it. Let's see how it goes. So you haven't seen me for a while, and why is that? Because a lot of things had happened, a lot, and so I was so busy last week that I didn't actually I couldn't like really do much on the channel and all that, but I'll catch you up. So first of all, one thing that is really sad is that I broke my laptop. Yes, I broke my laptop. And how did I break it? I learned the lesson the hard way, so I will tell you and tell your friends about it. Like, don't do the thing that I did. I was so silly. So remember, if you are new here, welcome. But if you you have been watching my videos, you know that I have this I'm planning on opening another channel talking about wellness, about overall wellness, right? So I've been taking videos on that, and I was using this Logitech camera that is external, because as you all know, MacBook Air, the camera quality is not especially good. So I'm like, okay, so let me use a better one, because I don't want people to have a hard time seeing what I'm doing, and I don't want to use a phone, because for this one it's easier for me to use the phone, because then I can put you guys up here and you can see really clearly, right? But then for that one I can't, and it's too small for me to see and all that stuff. So okay, so long story short, I was using that, and because it had been like falling a little bit, so I think, oh, let me just attach it better. So I really attach it like really, because it's like a triangular thing that you can put on your Mac, and there's like a triangular thing back there, and you can push it so that it will be more secure, or tighter and whatever. And I probably pressed it too hard, and after I did all my videos, which I will redo, there was like a little yellow line in the middle of my MacBook Air. So I was thinking, okay, so let me see what's happening there. So I went online to see if it's like overheating, or some known problem or whatever, and I find some information, not a lot, and people were like, do this, do that, or whatever. And so I was like just pressing it down a little bit to see if it will go away or whatever. And once I press it down, magic happens. There are more colorful lines here and there next to the yellow line, so like maybe 5-6 lines there in the middle of it. And then after that, what happened was that the entire screen ran black. Yes, black. And I'm like, are you kidding me? And it's so expensive to get another one. I look at the price online, and I see that if you are getting the screen fixed, it will cost you around like 600 something, and a new MacBook Air is just not just, but like 900 or 9 something, like 1,000. So because I if you've been watching my channel, you know that I am a student in a seminary for Christian counseling, and so I have my student ID, and I show them my student ID and get the educational discount. And I'm like, thank God I got that, but it's still really expensive, really expensive. And so yeah, so all that happened, and so I have to get a new um get a new laptop before I can do any editing for my channel. And actually, eventually, what I did was I attached an external um, monitor. So now I'm using it as my desktop instead of my laptop, you know, so I can still use it somewhat, but still, like, it's so frustrating because all of a sudden I have to spend that much money. But it's okay. And my husband is nice enough to decide to pay for me, and I'm so touched. That is so good. And so yeah, so I got my new MacBook Air just because I want to do YouTube videos. So doing the editing and all that is much easier on a Mac than on a Windows. I thought about like getting cheaper ones because, you know, Windows ones are so much cheaper. So I'm like, should I not? So yeah, so that is my story. And why do I, like, if I can use it as my old one as my desktop, why do I have to redo all my videos? It's because, you know, the direction I want to go, like, because the first one I did it okay, but I want to have another vibe for it. You know how important it is for you to have like good first videos on your YouTube channel. So because it sets the tone for the channel, right? And so yeah, so I don't want people to like look back and, oh, your first video is like that, and that's totally like different, the style and everything. So I was like trying to make sure that doesn't happen. Okay, this one, so some of them, so as you can see, as I squeeze them out, some of them really have a lot of binder on those, and this one is hardened, so I couldn't just squeeze it out. But you know, watercolor, it will be wet, it will reactivate with water. So I'm going to simply put the color here like this. Yeah, this is my craft supply because I had a craft session. I have a craft ministry with ladies at church. I do crafts with them every other week, and so yeah, I didn't put it away, it's still here. Okay, so let's go on. So yeah, so I want to have like a more chill kind of vibe, and really, because my channel is called Tea Time with Peace and Joy. So again, the binder. So what I want to do is, you know, to have a cup of tea really, or some kind of drink at least, to show in the video as well. So we've thought about it, you know, and I spend like so much time recording. I recorded like 3 episodes because for every episode I decide to do an English version and a Chinese version, a Cantonese version. So I spent so much time doing it, but now I will redo them. So hopefully eventually it will come out, and it's just a lot of work, but I think it's worth it though, because I see so much need for that. So that is one of the reasons why I wasn't been around lately. And the other thing, I don't know if you knew, is it was Chinese New Year on February 1st. And you know, so give you a tip, like if your New Year resolution failed the first time, you can always look for the Lunar New Year, and it's almost like it's always later than the American Chinese, I mean the American New Year. So you can always have like another start for your New Year resolution. So here you go. So that was last week, and then it was also my birthday week. My birthday was on the 5th, and so I was like taking some time off. I need to think about certain things really clearly, so I was like thinking about that. So now I'm going to tell you what I'm thinking of. So I've been seeing a lot of needs in the past 2 years on mental health counseling. the number had gone up so much, like the cases had gone up so much because of COVID, and a lot of people need help, especially in my local area. That's always had been a shortage, and so I was considering getting my license. So I look at like many different ways of like how can I get the license, because my program actually, my PhD program actually worked really closely with the government to get our educational requirement fulfilled for getting the license. But yet it's so hard because I'm not from a clinical program. It's so hard for me to get any internship out of it. It will be like a lot of work to get that. So I after doing some research, talking to many different people, I am now thinking of taking an online mental health licensing, like mental health clinical mental health counseling program that is accredited, so I can get my license later on. So I've been thinking about that, but I wasn't sure if that is what I really want to do or need to do, you know, to help out in the community. But I so want to do it, so I was thinking maybe I really should, you know, just do that. So I haven't 100% decided yet, but probably I will be talking to my advisor in my seminary to see if I will be doing it. So I'll keep you guys updated. But you know, that was what I was thinking about. Especially last week, I had a chance to talk to a local agency on something, and they mentioned about the need in the local area, and it's so hard to hire professionals sometimes. So yeah, and especially because I speak Cantonese as well, and I speak Mandarin, so it doesn't seem like there are a lot of mental health professionals in my own area who speaks the languages. So maybe I can help out in some ways. So for this yellow color, I don't really, I don't know. I don't know if it's just like because it's just on top, and there may be still a lot of binder, but you see that I squeeze. Oh my, yeah. Okay. So I squeeze certain like quite a bit in there, but still the color is not really there that much. This one is much better, but I think that is because that one is really supposed to be transparent, but still, you know, I am expecting a little bit more pigment, but it's okay. It's just one color, so I'm not going to judge you by that. Don't worry. So we'll go on. So yeah, so that had been like what had happened in the past few weeks. Like there were so many ups and downs as I was looking at different options. It seems like, oh, maybe I can do that. No, you can't. Maybe I can do that. Oh, no, you can't. So yeah. So that is tough, but I'm here and I'm good. And so for this one, I will do the swatching, and then I will immediately like upload the video. So then you will be able to see it. So I didn't go inside the box just because I want you to see if it is transparent or not. Although if I am doing like the one from the half pants, I have more control, and probably I will still keep it in the box. But for this one, because I'm squeezing it out, I don't have control anyway. So I'd rather do that, make it a little bit bigger so we can see if they are transparent or not. So for the professional grade ones, and you know, or like the ones that I really like, a lot of times I will go on and do my own swatching. And if you guys have been around for a while, you know, I have those, and I have the card that I use and all that. But for these ones that I plan to use mainly for teaching, then I will just swatch it out so that I can see the color, but I don't need a really special card so that I can put it in my collection, and when I'm trying to find a color I can see like which blend is better, you know. I don't need that. So okay, so yeah, so a lot of things had happened, but I am with like I'm having good spirits, happy Although my laptop broke, I'm happy in other things, not about the laptop, but yeah. So yeah, so we'll see what happens there, and I'll keep you guys updated. I start feeling, the community with you guys, and that is so good because sometimes you guys message me on Instagram or leave comments here, and that is so encouraging because sometimes you just don't know, especially with YouTube channels. You like, especially like for you, for people who don't have like a ton of subscribers like myself. we don't get paid at all, and I'm not here for that either. It's not like I don't like money. No, I need the money, especially if I'm going into the program, but I'm here mainly because I want to spend time with my viewers. I want to have some useful information for you guys, and that is more like my motivation of doing it. But yet it's hard sometimes, you just don't know, oh, is the video good enough, like are people watching and all that. So at first, sometimes you feel like, I don't know, but I was telling myself, like, even if there is just one viewer in the video, I will still keep doing it. Just because I like to be there with you. Especially if you're feeling lonely at home, or like if you are not, you're on your own and you have some time to kill, I don't mind being your friend here, and let's have some fun together, right? I'm guessing that you like seeing the swatching, if you are on this channel, because I do that quite a bit, and I do reviews as well. So far, I don't know, like I feel like, of course, like this is not the best way of trying it out, right? Because it's just the first impression. But yes and no, like it is not the lowest grade kind of paint at all. No. And it's pretty, like some of them are pretty pigmented, and you can see it flow, right? So that is another thing I talk about, like with some of my students. Some of the paints, it also depends on what you want, what effect you are going for, but some of the paints may not flow at all, like not much, I should say, not at all, but not as much. So it really depends on what technique I am teaching them. If I'm teaching them something that they need the mix of color on its own, that is the beautiful thing, the most beautiful thing of watercolor, in my opinion, at least. So if I'm teaching them that, I can use those type of paint, right? So that's why I always want to try things out on my own and decide if I can use that to teach or not. So yeah, seems to be pretty good so far. Although, like, there are some that I don't like as much, just because there was so much binding. I cannot really get to the real pigment yet. I guess that is the problem. But I'm guessing, like, if I squeeze the tube into like a pen form, then it should be fine. Or if I can just squeeze out all the binders that it has on top and do it like that, it will be fine as well. So yeah, so I'm going to like clean those up later on, maybe, I don't know. But I'll wait till it dries completely to close it. Or I won't be able to use this for reference anymore. So the color itself is pretty good. I like the color selection. So they have a variety of red, and that is really good for someone who is like painting a lot of florals, for example. If you do that a lot, that may be for you. And they have a few shades of green as well. And like if I have only 6 colors, of course I don't want you to put green in there, right? But if I have, like, this one is 24, I think it's like the fair amount of green is necessary if you are painting a lot of landscape, and that will be good because you need different shades of green sorry, to make your trees or your greenery convincing, look more natural, right? So that is good. And the burnt umber is good. The blue is pretty too. I like the selection. It's like really typical colors that people will pick in a like 24 set, like cobalt blue, ultramarine, Syrian blue, phthalo blue. Like all those are really really pretty colors. And I really like their permanent blue violets. I think this is really cool. Although the permanency is like 2 stars instead of 3, but you know, but I don't expect light fastness that much from this set anyway. So I can tell you a little bit more information after I swatch it too. So it seems like they have the pigment information there, which I like, because you can see basically, like, you can see a little bit about it. If you do some research online, you will know, like, even if you are not familiar with it, you will know, oh, you know, are they really permanent? Like, that color doesn't seem to be usually permanent. So even like if like that's 2 stars, I'm like, I'm not sure, right? So yeah, and it didn't really have any pamphlet or anything in the box itself, but the box itself is really sturdy. So I plan to probably take those out and then use the box for something else. Maybe, I don't know yet. Maybe not right now. And let me close it, because I want to see the back. It gives me more information. So let me finish the swatching first. Okay. Okay. One thing that you can use for your watercolor is a sponge, because that is really inexpensive and you can wash it off so easily. So sometimes I use that when I don't want to use like a towel or paper towel. Okay. Oh, that's pretty. I like this color. Okay, the plain gray is pretty. So let me give you, like, let's set this aside to wait for it to dry, because you know how sometimes it looks different once it's dried. So here are the information, so you can do a screenshot if you want to see all the information here. But it didn't tell me, you know, what those stars represent, and it didn't tell me a lot of things. So the only thing that is totally like opaque is 339, and it is, and as you can see, like, you cannot really see the line, and that is so true, and that is not transparent. And for all others, like, most of them are actually transparent, except for those 4. They are semi-transparent. Cobalt blue is semi-transparent, and as you can see here, that is really the case. So yeah, so it has like all the information here. I will I think I tried to look to find their website for more information, and if I remember correctly, I couldn't find much information online either, because I was trying to see, like, okay, so you know, where did the stars come from, you know? Did you do the test, or like what kind of test are we based on? So it's real heavy. This set is really inexpensive. Is even if, sorry for this noise, there's nothing like printed down there. I don't think I got one with this box. Yeah, so it is actually 15 milliliters, so that is good, like a good size of tube. If you look at the smallest Daniel Smith, is usually just 5 milliliter, like, for not just Daniel Smith for other brands as well. The smallest tube is usually that, so that is, like, this is 3 times as much, and it's so inexpensive. I think this it will be a good set for material wise for the students, but I will pay more with that and test it out before I decide on that. So yeah, so that is, thank you for chatting with me and spending time with me watching. Just want to, you know, catch you guys up with things, and you know, why I haven't been around. Like, what are you doing? Why, where do you go, right? So yeah, okay. So I'm going to clean up the clumps here, just because I don't like that. Can't really remove that. Okay, so I think that is good enough. All right, so let's try it now. I'm going to do this to see if it works out of the camera so that I can move a little bit more. Okay, still pretty wet for some of them. So overall, what I would say, although it's not totally dry yet, but what I would say is they are more opaque than some of the watercolors that I have used. Not necessarily a bad thing, because it really depends on what you're going for. But I like the color selection, and surprisingly, the pigment is there. Like, even for this one that I said, like, I was a little bit disappointed in, but the pigment is actually there. And one thing that I really don't like about watercolor paints, for some of the really inexpensive one, they are chalky, and I don't really see a lot of that in here yet, at least at the moment. But I will try to use it, and you know, work on it a little bit with some artwork to see how it goes, and then I will tell you more. So thank you for spending time with me again, and if you like this type of video, please give me a thumbs up. That will help my channel to grow. And if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe and hit the bell so you won't miss my next video. I hope to see you soon. Bye now.